Today's episode of Ham Radio 2.0 is brought to you by Gifts for Hams. Find their website at www.gifts4hams.com. Get your call sign or club logo engraved on virtually anything you want. Specializing in ham radio related gift ideas, Gifts for Hams is your one-stop shop for lighted call sign displays, coffee mugs, coasters, drinking glasses, smartphone cases, and so much more. Laser engraving and etching to show off your ham radio call sign or club. Shop gifts4hams.com and tell them that Ham Radio 2.0 sent you.
This is Jerry, KG5JBC, and I'd like to invite you to join our DMR net on the Brandmeister network, Talk Group 3148, on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. This net is sponsored by the Ham Radio 2.0 video podcast on livefromthehamshack.tv.
It is 5:45 a.m. on Friday, on the weekend of the Belton Hamfest. This episode will be called Bound for Belton. Another road trip video, like my journey to Joplin. Except this one's going to be all at nighttime, so I kind of doubt I'll get much on the road. I may get a few snaps here and there, we'll see. But sun's going to be coming up. Well, actually, the sun may be coming up in about an hour, so I can probably get the last little part of the trip. So let's see how this looks. This is KC5HWB with the Ham Radio 2.0 video podcast. Okay, the sun is up. Obviously, you can see that in the windshield. I got a later start than I wanted, so I'm coming into, I'm in Corsicana right now, actually. 35W just merged with 35E. Those of you from this area will know the area I'm talking about. And we're headed south, and GPS says I should be there in an hour and 8 minutes. I'm a little bit concerned about the traffic I might hit in the Temple area. A friend of mine they went down last night to Belton. They were there in the parking lot first thing this morning. He said the traffic in Temple was terrible last night. But I think they went through there around rush hour, maybe shortly after rush hour or something like that. So it's always, rush hour's a terrible time to be going through. Just all the construction on 35 is what the problem is in that area down there. So far, I didn't get my HF station set up. I ran my coax. Well, I ran a coax, but I think that there's a problem with the coax because when I plug it into the back of the IC7000, it doesn't. The ears don't pop up on the IC7000. So either I crimped the coax too tightly when I was fishing it through the back of the truck into the cab, or the end that the PL259 end that I use a crimp-on end, and the end that I crimped onto one of the ends is bad. I don't know which one yet, so I'm going to test that. I might test that this afternoon in the parking lot, and we'll see what happens with that. But I think that is my problem, is that I think that I have a bad coax, a bad feed line. I got the tuner all hooked up, and it beeps at me when I power the radio on, and it beeps at me when I hit the tuner button. If I'm sitting there on 10 or 15 meters or whatever band, and I hit the tuner button, it beeps like it's doing something, but the But while it's beeping, I walk back there and I grab a hold of the screwdriver antenna to see if it's moving, and it hasn't moved yet. But it may not be moving because it can't read anything because the coax is bad. So it's probably like a catch-22 on that. Let me turn the camera just slightly like that. Whew. Watch where I'm going. So far this morning, I've talked on a couple of 440 repeaters. I just keyed up the Granbury repeater, 220 repeater on 224.34. Nice strong signal down here in Hillsboro. Threw my call sign out on DMR DFW Metro. Nobody on this morning. There was a little bit of Brandmeister activity like 10, 15 minutes ago, but Brandmeister's listing right now, and there's nobody talking on that right now either. So overall, it's a pretty quiet morning. So we will see what we see. KC5HWB.
That was a B5NIA. You sure off the Belton.
Yeah. Can you see me on the APRS down there? Testing this Windows app on the WinBook right there. That's a WinBook 7-inch WinBook tablet running Windows 8, 8.1 I think. I'm running the Windows Blue DB app Bluetoothed to the internet connection is to my phone, but the Bluetooth is to my BlueStack, which is right here. That's why I'm talking into the handheld, because my mobile radio is listening to the local repeater right now. I key up, sometimes a wrong ID comes in there. KC5HWB. Bob, I didn't get you. Come back. If you came back to me, I didn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, you said something about APRS. I thought you were talking to somebody else, but I couldn't hear anybody else. Yeah, I guess you're headed to Belton this morning and getting ready for a big swap meet. KC5HWB from WB5NI.
Yeah, no, I was talking to you. You asked if I was headed to Belton, or I thought you said, I can see you're headed to Belton. So I thought you were looking at me on APRS, because I have it running right now. So that was my, that's what I was asking you. But no, yeah, you're correct, of course. I'm coming through, well, I just went through west. So I'm southbound 35 right now. I'm about, according to GPS, I'm about 45 minutes away from Belton. I'm hoping the traffic around the Temple area, there's a bunch of construction on 35 in that area. I'm hoping that doesn't foul me up too much. But yes, that's where I'm headed. It's been kind of quiet this morning. Norman was on there, the M6 station. He was on there talking to somebody about an hour ago, 45 minutes to an hour ago. And those two guys cleared off of here, and I haven't really heard much since then, but I saw that you had popped the hotspot there, so I thought I'd key up and just throw my call sign out and see if you were still listening. KC5HWB.
Yeah, I keyed up because I noticed the server had been rebooted last night, and so I keyed up to update the talk group. 7 o'clock. And usually don't get on the radio till 20 minutes after 7. I have to feed my animals and take my pills and make my coffee and all that good stuff. It takes me about 20 minutes to do all that. But anyhow, Norman and a couple guys usually get on here early in the morning, and sometimes other guys get on. Garrett gets on early, and Thomas sometimes. But anyhow, usually about this time is when Jerry and I take over, and I have to be a backseat driver, for him to get him to work safely. But he's taking the day off and not going to work today, so I guess that's the reason it's kind of quiet around here. KC5HWB, WB5NI.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, I knew that. I guess it was when I was driving to Joplin, or it was one of the road trips I was on. I don't remember which one it was, man. But you were telling me you didn't get up till 7 and get on like 7:15, 7:20. So I was expecting you about this time. And I'm kind of running an experiment right now. I'm still on my BlueStack here in the truck. But instead of running through my phone, I've got a Windows 8 WinBook tablet, a 7-inch WinBook tablet, which, gosh, what's his name? Guy that's on here all the time, WB5 station, I can't remember his name right now, was telling me that he was using the WinBook tablet and really liked it. So I got all that set up this week. So in essence, what I've got right here, and I'm recording... You're on video right now, by the way, so I'll put that up later. If you watched my Joplin video in the truck, I did a little bit of Brandmeister QSO on that one. So, but this is another experiment I wanted to try out. So I've got my WinBook tablet Bluetooth to my BlueStack, but I've got it connected via the hotspot on my cell phone. So what that does is, since I've got the BlueDV app running on the WinBook, it frees up my cell phone to where I don't have to have that running. I can run my APRS and my Google Maps and all that kind of good stuff. So, and it seems to be working pretty well so far. Your last couple of transmissions have been really solid. So I was curious about that, whether it would be too much for it. But so far, so good. I'm happy with the way it works.
Okay, drag my feet there in case anybody else wants to jump in, but yeah, I hear good things about that Blue DV and the mid on it, and all these guys, they at different ways, and so that if that's working out for you, that's the way to go, I guess. I'm talking to you on an open spot now, and of course I'm going in through an MD380 handheld, and I guess this is about the second or third week I've had the open spot, and I'm real impressed with it. I have tried that cross mode, using the DMR radio and going over to C4 FM, and I tried that, and it does work. It works very well. But I just
There's another video idea.
DMR, and it works great here. Anyhow, well, I hope you have a good swap meet down there. And if you're recording everybody, this is Bob. I'm out in the little town of Brownfield, Texas, which is southwest of Lubbock, and talking to Jason on the way down. It's back to you, KC5WB, WB5I.
KC5HWB, yep. Yeah, I just wanted to do the same thing in there and leave a small spot. Heard a couple of stations talking, not today, it was 2 or 3 days ago, and I tried to get in on them, and people were kind of quick keying the system, so it's a good idea to I saw your Facebook post the other day, and that's why I +1'd it. So it's a good idea. So many people listening to this talk group now, it's a good idea to leave a little bit of space between transmissions and let someone else throw their call sign out if they want to jump into the conversation. So yeah, the open spot, man, I haven't messed with mine since the first day I hooked it up. I did the setup. That took 10 minutes or less. And I was hearing traffic on it, no problem, but when I keyed up on it, I was not seeing myself on hose line. So I don't know if I missed something on the setup. I have not gone back to look at any of that. I think you and I talked about that the other day, so I don't have any further information on that than the other day when I tried it. But it seemed to be, the signal through it seemed to be solid. The setup seemed to be pretty easy, even though it looks like I missed something. I don't know, but looking forward to trying that. I'll probably get some chance next week, maybe on Sunday. Maybe on Sunday I'll have a chance to tinker around with that again. But the cool thing is I want to get that set up at the house and have that running at home. And I might even put my wife's call sign on that one, or her subscriber ID, I should say, on that one. And then when I'm out on the road, on this blue DV, I can have her key up from the house and talk to her and have that open line of communication. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of my thought process there. So we'll see. But anyway, so yeah, looks like it's going to be good weather down here. Looking forward to the show. And if there's anything that stands out or jumps out or anything, I'll be sure and let you guys know about it. WB5 NIA from KC5HWB.
Okay, I'm JBC. Morning, Jerry. Yeah, Jason, we've had 3 instances I know of with new open spots where they'll transmit but won't receive. One of them
Mine's backwards at that.
Was Bill over in Arkansas, and his was doing that. And I called him, or told him to call me on the phone. He wasn't at home, and when he got back home where we could work with it, it was working. It's a mystery. We don't know what was known because it was not working when he left the house and wouldn't work. And when he came back to talk to me on the phone, it was working. And Jerry, I think, has been trying to help a guy that with his that had that problem. So with yours now, that's 3 of them. But
okay, it is the same direction.
I don't know what Bill's was, but we got his going. And so anyhow, it's some of those line or something. That thing, I think you have to save everything. When you have to change, you have to save it. And then
I did that.
Go through and select the connector and everything. So that may be what it is, but I haven't pinned it down yet.
Nah, I did that on mine.
Get it figured out, but so far.
There's a separate button at the bottom of the setup screen where you save it, and I did that on mine.
What is the problem with yours? I'd be interested in knowing what it is. Go and help these guys. Anyhow, start it over to Jerry, see what he's up to this morning. 35 JBC in the group, WB5 and I. Well, we're just up and up a little later this morning since I didn't get out on the road, and I'm enjoying a little bit of coffee and sitting here looking at emails and Facebook, and I just I posted Shark RS, and you said something about it the other day, Bob. Norbert has responded back, and he's wanting some screenshots of the status, connector, and modem config pages. So I think that gentleman's going to drop his radio off at my office today, and so found it easier just to say, give it to me and let me go through it and see what I can find out, and see if it works on my setup.
No delays, according to that sign.
We can prove whether or not it's his Shark RF, or if it's his open spot, or if it's his radio causing the issue. But I got a feeling it's in the open spot. So something is, he either didn't save, like you said, he might not have saved something that he changed. You know what? Well, and it'd be fun. Not that I'm really looking for anything, but you never know when you're going to find a deal. And but we got a pretty busy weekend scheduled, and so I guess we'll hang around here and do things. So good morning to you, and hey, I'll turn it back over to you. KC5HWB, KG5JBC.
Hey, Jerry, good morning, and happy birthday, belated birthday to you. According to Facebook, you had one of those a couple days ago. Might have been yesterday, I don't remember now. But, yeah, I'm mobile, as you probably heard a minute ago, so the internet connection as you're driving down the road is not as stable as it is at home. So I missed the part to say, I know you're off work today, but I thought you said that you were coming down to Belton. But you might have said that you weren't coming down to Belton, so I missed that part. So I didn't get it if you were coming down here or not. But if you are, then be sure and stop by and see me down here. I'll be down there I'm about 35 minutes away according to GPS here, and they got one of these digital readout traffic signs that I just passed that said it was a 0-minute delay all the way to Belton, and to Temple and to Belton. So hopefully the traffic's going to cooperate with me this morning. But no, that's interesting. I'm kind of glad to hear that I'm not the only open spot problem. So maybe it's not something I did. I did save my configuration. That's a common mistake. I have a daytime job where I work in IT, and that's a common mistake people make with setup configuration pages. So I'm sure that I'm always sure to save, when I make configuration changes to websites and web GUIs and stuff like that to save configuration. So I know that's not my problem. But yeah, but to hear that it's happened to a couple other open spots, there's probably a bug somewhere that, if I had to guess, is probably fixable via firmware. Well, they got a bunch of trash burning on the side of the road down here. That's not something you see every day. Anyway, so I guess I'll just, Bob, when I get home tomorrow, I probably will be too tired to jack with it. But Sunday I may plug it back up and see if it just starts to work again. If he had his plugged up all day and it just started working on its own, maybe mine will too. I'd be curious to ask, is it still working? You said he left for work that morning, it wasn't working, and he came back and it was working. Has it worked ever since then, or is it kind of like an off and on type thing? That would be my question. And I'll pass it over to you, Bob. WB5NIA from KC5HWB. See, the program crashed. And it's done that before a couple of times also. That's the Windows app program. It doesn't seem as stable as the Android app program.
Well, Bob, it may just be you and me. I don't see Alec coming back, and
see, I don't know how much of that conversation my last transmission, I don't know how much they got.
It may just be you and I now.
KC5 HWB.
There he is. Jason, you dropped out on us and stayed gone for a good while. Go ahead. WB5 and I. Yeah, I heard you keep back up.
Okay, I think you guys doubled. Bob, you pretty much won, but I heard you too, Jerry. Yeah, apparently I looked over and at the end of that transmission, my Windows app had crashed on my tablet over here. So that's what that was. I don't know how much of that conversation you guys got or how much of that transmission you guys got. Basically, in a nutshell, I said that I was somewhat glad to hear, although I'm not glad to hear about bugs really, but I'm kind of glad to hear that my open spot problem's not the only one out there. And that other gentleman that was having one, Bob, that you said left it running all day and it was working when he got home. I was wondering, is it still working? Has it been working ever since, or does it kind of drop in and out? So, Bob, I'll pass it to you. WB5NIA from KC5 HWB.
Okay, Jason, to the best of my knowledge, I have not heard of Bill having any more problems. His call is N5SG, Sierra Golf, and he's the mayor of Centerton, Arkansas.
Nice.
So I heard him on let's see, I believe yesterday. So as far as I know, he's not having any other problems with it. So no, he was playing with it, and he was on the Facebook group and having problems with it. And I told him to give me a call on it, that he would go home and call me. So I gave him my phone number, and when the unit was working. So we don't know, we don't know what happened there, but it was just working when he left home. It was gone maybe an hour or so, and when he came back, it was working, and to the best of my knowledge, it's still working. So it's a mystery to us. That's the reason I'm real interested in the fellows that he's working with, and real interested in yours, trying to track down what the problem is. Anyhow, back to Jerry, I guess. Jerry, I think he's wanting to know if you were coming to Belton. JT5JBC and the group, WB5NI. Jason, I wished I was coming to Belton. I enjoyed it when I went last time, and but I've got a little bit too much going on this weekend. We have 3 daughters, and the last one gets married tomorrow evening. So we have been working on getting ready for this one for several weeks now, and as she's been a little bit different than the rest of them. She's wanted certain things, like she wants an outdoor wedding out in this vineyard, and so she wants these old antique doors to walk through, and
nice.
this is outside wedding, so I had to make freestanding frame for these 2 doors, and they're kind of heavy doors, so it had to be a good frame. And she wants a chandelier hanging from a tree, so she bought this old one that was in real poor condition, and I had to strip it completely down and rewire it and put bling on it and paint it, or paint it and then put bling on it. All kinds of neat stuff, so it's really going to turn out nice. She's really creative in what she does, so Dad, she's kept her dad and mom pretty packed up and out there today, and so it's
That's the problem with having a mobile internet connection.
Fun. Looking very forward to it, and she's a sweetie, and one of Daddy's daughters. So obviously she's got her dad wrapped around her little. But anyway, we'll enjoy that, and keeps us busy. But anyway, then we're going to be empty nesters, so that'll be a little different.
There you go.
Situation around the house, and so anyway, we're not going to make Belton, but I sure would love to be there, and we'll be busy doing a lot of other things. I don't know if Alec is really in there or not, but hey, Jason, be back over to you. Hey, if Alec doesn't pick up, hey, pick it up, Jason, and let's see if anybody else is awake and wants to get in here. KG5JBC.
Wait time.
Hey, Michael.
Okay, I'll go ahead and pick it up. I did hear Mike KG5JBJ. So real close to you, Jerry. I recognize that call too, JBJ. I think he might have bought a blue stack recently, or an open spot, whichever the case may be. So turn it over to you here in a minute, Mike. But yeah, Jerry, hey man, you got more important things going on this weekend. It sounds like. No worries there. Sounds like a neat project you had going on. So that ought to be. I'm sure you've got somebody to take a bunch of pictures of that when it happens. That ought to be for some neat photo ops for sure. But yeah, enjoying the weather out here for sure, and we'll miss you down here. But obviously you've got higher priorities this weekend. I don't blame you at all. So I'll keep my eyes open for some cool stuff and send you guys pictures or whatever. So Mike, if you want to get in there, go ahead and pick it up. KG5JBJ from KC5HWB Mobile.
Good morning, guys. Jason, you're right. I did order a blue stack from you earlier in the week. I'm working off of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, Jerry and I are seven letters apart, so it's a pretty easy one to remember since everybody knows Jerry's call sign.
Yeah.
I've just been listening. I just wanted to say good morning to everybody, to Bob and Jerry and you, and I'll turn it back to the group. This is KG5JBJ. I don't know if it's my turn or not, if I have it here.
Yeah, Bob, it's yours. Go ahead.
I guess Alex was just getting up, turning his radio on. He does that pretty often. So he'll be in here in a little while when he gets a little situated there. Anyhow, morning to you, Mac. Good to hear you on this morning. And let's see, what was I was going to comment on something, and it's already slipped my mind. Oh, me.
That's the problem with the round robin. Not that that's a bad thing, but by the time it gets back around to you, maybe you don't remember what you were going to say.
And I was able to check in and listen to the net most of the way through, but towards the end of the net, the darn thing the signal got real weak, and it was in and out. So, I don't know. I think I may have an antenna problem here, but anyhow, most of the time I just can't get into that thing, can't even sit up, so, but it's fun to try, good to check in. Anyhow, yeah, Jason, you get on that open spot and find out what the problem is. I'm really interested in knowing what you find, so we can help these other guys out when it problem comes up with them. But anyhow, let's see, Mike, I guess back to, say anything. Alex, if you're in there, pick it up. If not, go ahead to Jerry, I guess. N1AJW or WB5NI. I'm here, but I'm just listening. Jerry's a photographer anyways, isn't he? That's what Facebook says. It says he's a disc jockey, a photographer, and something else, an accountant or something. So I guess other things. That's all I have to say. Have a nice day, everybody. I'll be listening. It's not too nice here. It's cloudy, but better than snow.
Buried in snow. Holy cow.
No, Alex, don't give away all my secrets there. We've been a photographer since early high school days, and at one point turned into what they say is professional, and I did it for a job, and but anyway, photography is how I paid my way through college. I freelanced photography for a newspaper, and I did, and the majority of what I did was sports photography, and man, it was one of the most enlightening things that I had done. You know, I tell you what, we lived in the small town of Paris, and although we covered a pretty large area, and man, we shot some of the football games that it was like, you know, the lighting out there was like a big flashlight on each end of the
yeah. Been there,
stadium.
done that.
So
I did
were doing all kinds of
photography for a few years myself.
and developing that that you could do to be able to pull out a picture. But anyway, you know, things have changed so much now into the digital world, and well, we're hot, and you know, we've been hot and heavy into that. So I've got a lot of equipment that is pretty decent. But anyway, don't get the time to do much of it anymore. I have kind of moved on to something else that occupies my time, one of them being ham radio. So anyway.
That doesn't sound familiar at all.
My main job is, but we still love it. But anyway, I just am hanging around here right now, enjoying listening to you guys, and catching up a little bit on Facebook, and hey, we'll see if we can enjoy the day. Hopefully it won't be too much to do today, other than a lot of setup and a lot of moving and stuff. So well, I tell you, this weather has really changed and gotten nice. I tell you, we could be 90 and 100 degrees, but it looks like we're going to be in the 80s, and it looks like the evenings are going to be nice and cool. So hey, this ought to turn out really well this weekend. Alex, good to hear you up there, and hey, Jason, appreciate. It looks like I talked a little long-winded. Jason, appreciate the birthday wish. Hey, we got a lot of those on Facebook, and it's good to hear from a lot of people. Jason, I'll turn it back over to you. I think you're next, and we don't want to leave Michael out and Bob out, so I'm not sure who's next after that. But anyway, HW, golly, KC5, HWB. Hey, sorry, I pulled it out. It's tough when you get old. Anyway, KC5, HWB, KN the group, KC5, JBC.
Okay, Jerry. Yep. Thanks for the info there. I did a little bit of photography myself for a while. I still got a little bit of equipment, so I know what you're saying. But good deal. Well, guys, I think I'm going to back on out of here. I'm about 20 minutes from my destination here, and starting to run into a little bit of construction down here on the highway. It's actually not nearly as bad as I thought it would be, but I don't know what's ahead of me. So I'm going to step back and listen, and once I get there, I got to get situated and whatnot. So good conversation this morning. Hope everyone has a really fine weekend. Yeah, Bob, I heard you in the net the other night. You were really solid into it when you keyed up. So I was wondering if you were either mobile down in Lubbock or if the band conditions were just right, or maybe you had maybe you'd updated your antenna or something. I don't know, but sounded really good in the net the other night into the repeater. So you guys have a good weekend, and I'll probably be in and out this weekend. I'm going to have my mobile DMR repeater set up at the Belton Hamfest, which is, of course, connected to the DMR Mark network. But I might pop over to one of the tactical channels and see if you guys are listening over there. So 73 to all. Mike, I guess, KG5JBJ, I'm going to pass it over to you if you're still out there. And you guys have a good weekend. KC5HWB Mobile, I'll be listening. Exit 292 in Belton to the Belton Expo Center. That is where we are. KC5HWB with Ham Radio 2.0. Some of you who have been to Belton from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, or maybe from up north, probably recognize the exit I'm on right now. And this is, for anyone who hasn't been to Belton, this is easy to get to because it's right here off the highway. Come down here, exit 292, the exit number. And still listen to Brandmeister, guys. I switched it over to my mobile radio, though, because I'm out of repeater range for the repeaters in the area, where there are no repeaters in this area. So, loop 121. Okay, there we go. There's already people here set up. Like, there was probably people here set up like 2 hours ago on Friday. The show's not even until tomorrow. But there's a lot of tailgating that goes on Friday. I got here about 7 a.m. in the spring show this year. I got here about 7 a.m. and there was a few people set up. So I didn't get here quite this early this year. It's about 8:20 a.m. right now. And we're going to see this guy get the heck out of the road. And let's see what all is going on out here. But you can see all the people who are already set up. It's 8:20 a.m. And there's Richard and his little trailer. So I'm going to go over here to a main trading company and see, this guy's already got a table set up with stuff on it. So that's freaking cool, though. That's cool. It's cool. It's a cool event on Fridays when they. Oops. It's a cool event on Fridays when they get set up and get going out here. So KC5HWB Belton HamExpo, October 1st, 2016.